Bam, Bankman-Fried has been arrested and denied bail. In today's show, Bitcoin bear market, 70% dip, kills Bitcoin Taurus as metric, screams buy, quoting crypto analyst Philip Swift. Euphoria from Bitcoin Taurus has now been completely destroyed. Realized cap hodl waves warmer, colors spiking shows periods when participants are euphoric. We are now at cycle lows, aka max risk reward. Opportunity. Also breaking news, SBF denied bail by the Bahamas magistrate court judge. And not only that, but he was denied a $250,000 bail after citing medical and dietary needs as a reason for request, being an alleged vegan. He was declared high risk to flee by the judge, so kudos to the judge. SBF will go to the Bahamas only prison, Fox Hill, as he awaits extradition. Now note this, Fox Hill is known for brutal conditions, and inmate suicide is not uncommon. Also in today's show, Tether USDT to reduce secured loans to zero in 2023 amid a battle against the FUD. That's right, quoting Tether here. Tether addresses FUD around secured loans, reveals plans to reduce these to zero in 2023. Also in today's show, imminent macro events could rock the Bitcoin and crypto markets, according to crypto analytics firm Sentiment. That's right, a leading analytics firm is issuing an alert to crypto traders to brace for wild price swings ahead as key macro data are due for release this week. Also in today's show, breaking news, the CFTC declares Ethereum as a commodity again in a court filing. That's right, quoting them right here. Certain digital assets are commodities, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tether, and others, as defined under Section 1A9 of the Act 7 USC. Also, Vaneck, they predict a Bitcoin crash all the way down to between $10,000 and $12,000 by Q1 of next year in 2023. We're also going to be taking a look at the overall crypto market, all this, plus so much more in today's show. I want to welcome everyone tuning in to today's live stream. This is Crypto News Alerts pod episode number 1133. Today is December 14th, 2022, and naturally we have lots to cover. I'm your host, JV. Let's dive right into today's Crypto Market Watch. We can see Bitcoin and most of the entire market pumping once again on the back of the news of Bankman-Fried's arrest and being denied bail. We got Bitcoin up about 2% for the day, trading back above $18,000. We got Ether up 1.25%. Trading just above $1,300. Solana in the forest green, while Binance Coin and Doge are pulling back and in the red, along with Matic. And checking out CoinMarketCap.com. The current crypto market cap sits at $879 billion, with $36 billion in volume in the past 24 hours, with the Bitcoin dominance on the rise at now 39.5%, with the Ether dominance at 18.6%. And checking out the top 100 cryptocurrency gainers in the past 24 hours, we have Toncoin leading the pack, up almost 13%, trading at $2.59, followed by USDN, which is up 6%, trading just above 76 cents, followed by XDC, up 5%, trading just above 2.2 cents. Below that, we have Solana, and then Thorchain and Kava. And checking out the top 100 cryptocurrency gainers in the past week, we can see Ton leading the pack here, up almost 40%. We got Blockstacks up 13.8%. We got Bit up 13.2%, and Satoshi Vision also up 13.2%. And checking out the Crypto Greed and Fear Index, you can see we're currently rated a 30 in fear. Yesterday a 27, last week a 29, and last month a 24 in extreme fear. And welcome to everyone just tuning in to today's live show. We have so much to cover. I don't want to waste any time, so let's dive right into our Bitcoin technical analysis and check out some of the charts. Bitcoin speculators have disappeared from the market and their mood destroyed, says popular analyst Philip Swift in a tweet on December 14th. The co-founder of Trading Sweet Decent Trader flagged potential maximum risk returns for the Bitcoin price action at the current price. That's right, Bitcoin is around 70% below its latest all-time high we hit back in November of last year at 69,000, and the drawdown has flushed out many short-term investors. The FTX scandal participated in even stronger capitulation, which is going as it after effects sees nervous investors panic. For Swift, signs of speculator euphoria is now gone from Bitcoin, come in the form of a popular HODL waves metric. Now, HODL waves group transacted coins by age, how long they were last dormant, or until they last left their wallet. The resulting data shows to what extent long-term or short-term hodlers are transacting. In a further iteration of the metric, realized cap hodl waves additionally weighs these bands by realized price, the price at which each Bitcoin last moved. So our hodl waves are telling us that the cost basis of Bitcoin that have been held in wallets for different periods of time, and each time period is shown by the waves of the chart, Swift explains in a description on his dedicated on-chain data resource, Look into Bitcoin. Now currently the R hodl shows a distinct minority of coins moving on the network soon after they were used in the previous transaction, and on the contrary, transactions currently involve coins that last moved 6 to 12 months ago as the most common age band, and on an accompanying chart, the darker the color of the wave, the more recently the coins involved last move. Euphoria from Bitcoin tourists have now been completely destroyed, Swift commented, and added that under such circumstances, the risk-reward ratio for investing is at its most attractive based on historical trends from the R hodl waves, as he shares here on crypto Twitter. Realized cap hodl waves warmer color spiking show periods when participants are euphoric. We're now at the cycle lows, aka max risk reward opportunity, and the charts, my friend, don't lie. So that's pretty bullish. Now from capitulation to accumulation, Swift is not alone in eyeing potential bullish signals for the King crypto as 2022 draws to a close. We just got 2 more weeks to go, fam. In the latest edition of its weekly newsletter, the Week on Chain, analytics firm Glassnode highlights the ongoing trend from capitulation to accumulation by Bitcoin investors. It did so via the UTXO realized price density metric, a similar tool to the R hodl waves, which offers an insight into seller intensity based on coin age. Quoting them here, after each market leg down in 2022, we can see the density of coin redistribution and thus reaccumulation has increased, it wrote, noting that the drop from $24,000 saw $18,000 saw especially strong reaccumulation, and an accompanying chart shows those investors who bought the macro top of each Bitcoin price run, notably in late 2017 and through April of 2021. So there you have it. What are your thoughts surrounding the Bitcoin price action? Are you short-term bullish or bearish on the King crypto? And towards the end of the show, I'm going to be covering a prediction from Vaneck that Bitcoin could potentially hit $10,000 to $12,000 right around the corner in the first quarter of 2023. So please do stick around, and that will lead us to our next story of the day, which is on everyone's mind. And I'm sure you probably slept very well last night, noting that SBF has been arrested for his crimes, and he is in Fox Hill in the Bahamas, which is known as one of the most nastiest and unsafe prisons in all of the world. So here we go. Let's discuss this, shall we? Sam Bankman-Fried's application for bail has been denied in a Bahamas magistrate court yesterday, December 13th, with presiding judge Joanne Ferguson Pratt highlighting a risk of flight. The counsel for Bankman-Fried requested bail to be set at $250,000 earlier on December 13th. Yo, Bankman-Fried, you claimed you only had $100,000 left, so how would you afford that bail? Just FYI. But anyways, he was denied, arguing that the 30-year-old crypto executive suffered from depression and insomnia and does not possess a criminal record and did not flee the Bahamas despite ample opportunity to do so. I think this was a great move by the judge to deny his bail, because we do have clowns and actors which are bad out there, like Do Kwon, still on the run. Now, the counsel representing SBF also claimed that their client hasn't been taking medications, including Adderall and antidepressants, since his arrest. The lawyer also said that SBF doesn't object to electronic monitoring or reporting to local police station if granted bail, I guess referring to house arrest with an ankle bracelet. However, despite Judge Ferguson Pratt earlier stating SBF had a right to request bail, the judge denied the request from SBF's lawyers, ordering the crypto executive to be held in custody at the Bahamas Department of Corrections until February 8th, 2023. So he's not going to be having a nice Christmas whatsoever, to say the least. The case has been adjourned to the said date, as shared here on this official news from the Bahamas. FTX update, SBF leaves the magistrate court. He will be remanded to the Bahamas Department of Corrections until this matter resumes on February 8th, 2023, which is another couple of months out. Now, Bankman-Fried was taken into custody December 12th by the Royal Bahamas Police following a formal notification from the U.S. government that it had filed criminal charges against him, including 8 counts of financial and elections fraud. That's right, and since then, several more charges against Bankman-Fried have come to light from various regulatory authorities, including the U.S. SEC, and a lawsuit from the U.S. Commodities Future Trading Commission, which is the CFTC. This is all very interesting, especially considering the fact we know that Gary Gensler and the SEC was working very closely with Bankman-Fried. And as pointed out here, Fox Hill is known for brutal conditions, and inmate suicide is not uncommon. And in fact, he already has an inmate number, which I found out this morning on crypto Twitter. So what are your thoughts surrounding the saga unfolding and Bankman-Fried being arrested and denied bail? What do you think is likely to come out of this? It's kind of cool that on the back of this news, Bitcoin and the entire crypto market started pumping pretty quickly as Bitcoin has returned back above 18,000, which you can see here in the Bitcoin live chart. But with that being shared, just drop your thoughts in the comments below, and towards the end of the show, I'll be doing the live Q&A. And for those of you only listening to the podcast, make sure to check out cryptonewsalerts.net for the YouTube channel to participate in the live Q&A we do every day, 7 days a week. And with that being shared, now let's discuss Tether versus the mainstream FUD, as there's been a lot of speculation out there that Tether could potentially collapse and be the next FTX. Then Max Kaiser said this is wrong. He was recently interviewed by Daniela Cambono-Stansberry Research, and he says, in fact, not only is Tether backed one by one, they have more than enough backing, but it's Circle, the company responsible for USDC, you need to watch out for. So there has been a lot of FUD, especially from the mainstream, attacking USDT. So let's break this down, shall we? The world's largest stablecoin issuer, Tether, has pledged to eventually stop the practice of lending out funds from its reserves, saying its mission is critical to restore faith in the crypto market. In a December 13th post, the stablecoin issuer addressed mainstream recent media FUD concerning its secured loans, amongst other FUD that hit the rumor mill. Now, Tether reiterated that its secured loans are over-collateralized, which is a good sign, and covered by extremely liquid assets, while also adding that the firm will be eliminating these loans throughout 2023, stating the following: Tether is announcing starting from now throughout 2023, it'll reduce secured loans in Tether's reserves to zero. Now, Tether's secured loans operate similarly to private banks lending to customers using secured collateral, the company explained. However, unlike banks that operate on fractional reserves, Tether claimed that its loans are over 100% backed. Now, the move is likely in response to a Wall Street Journal report earlier this month alleging these new loans were risky, claiming that the company may not have enough liquid assets to pay redemptions. In a crisis in which Tether responded, Tether addresses FUD around secured loans and reveals plans to reduce these to zero in 2023. So take that, lamestream media and FUD. Now, it is not the first time that the Wall Street Journal has targeted Tether. In August, the outlet said that Tether could be deemed technically insolvent if its assets fell just 0.3%. The stablecoin issuer refuted the claims at the time, stating it had increased the legitimacy and transparency of its attestations by hiring top 5 accounting firm. And according to those attestations, 82% of Tether reserves are held in extremely liquid assets. Now, in October, Tether responded to more media FUD by further eliminating commercial paper from its reserves and replacing the investments with U.S. Treasury bills. And in its most recent statement, the company stated it'll wind down its lending business without losses and continue its mission to prioritize transparency and accountability. Quoting them here, "We will continue to show Tether's resilience through the most uncertain times, regardless of the story fabrications and disinformation concocted by Tether truthers and clickbait headlines from mainstream media that have been consistently wrong about Tether for close to a decade." Now, Tether is currently the leading stablecoin issuer with $65.8 billion in USDT currently circulating. It has a market share of 46.6%, according to CoinGecko. So there you have it. Let me know your thoughts surrounding the FUD versus Tether. I do know one thing which is interesting. It has been pointing out, CZ, the Binance CEO, actually called Bankman-Fried out for this, but Bankman-Fried was attacking Tether USDT, and he got caught trying to depeg the stablecoin. And keeping in mind that this stablecoin in particular has been around now for a decade and hasn't gone anywhere, it makes it seem unlikely to me that it will go anywhere. But hey, still stress extreme caution, because you never know, and you don't know what you don't know. But at the same time, when you have the mainstream media, such as the Wall Street Journal and Bankman-Fried, attacking a company like Tether USDT, which has been around for a decade, and it's still being strong and doing what it's doing, it makes you really wonder, is this really all a conspiracy? And that does the mainstream media and the bad actors want to attack it because it's legit? makes you really wonder. So let me know, which stablecoin do you trust most? Is it Tether USDT, or is it Circle's USDC, or potentially another stablecoin such as DAI? There's actually quite a few out there. Let me know your honest thoughts in the comments right down below, which leads us to our next story of the day. Here are some macro predictions for Bitcoin and the crypto market at hand. Leading analytics firm is issuing an alert to crypto traders to brace for wild price swings as key macro data are due for release this week. In a new Insights edition, Sentiment says it's expecting a volatile week ahead for crypto as the Federal Open Market Committee is scheduled to announce its latest policy decision today at 2 p.m. Eastern. Investors expect the Federal Reserve to hike interest rates by 50 basis points, a declaration from the 0.75% increase imposed over previous 4 meetings. A higher than expected print is traditionally bearish, as it signals that the Fed is intent on tightening monetary policies to combat inflation. Now, Sentiment also tells traders to keep a close watch on the Purchasing Managers Index, which is PMI, an economic indicator that gauges the health of the manufacturing or service sector. The PMI is slated for release on Friday, December 16th, which is just 2 days away. Quoting Sentiment, the decisions from these events will eventually guide the market to be risk on or risk off. The analytics firm also says that while crypto has moved in tandem with the stock market for the most part of the year, the correlation snapped in November amid the high-profile implosion of FTX, which they point out here. And the analytics firm concludes by saying that crypto investors have been jittery as of late, and any negative surprises from the 2 key macro events could trigger yet another sell-off event. Decision time is coming. So there you have it. Do you think another massive sell-off is likely? And do you feel there could be another FTX Black Swan event where a major stablecoin, potentially USDC, Tether USDT, or even potentially another cryptocurrency goes under? Let me know your honest thoughts in the comments right down below, which leads us to our next story of the day, and that's the CFTC coming out and reiterating that Ethereum is not a security, but it is a commodity. However, what's interesting here is Gary Gensler, the chairman of the SEC, says the opposite. He believes that Ethereum is a security. So there is an argument going on between the CFTC and the SEC as they're both battling to be able to basically enforce their regulation upon these cryptos. So let's break this down, shall we? The Commodity Futures Trading Commission, better known as the CFTC, has again labeled Ethereum as a commodity, this time in a December 13th court filing. In contrast, statements from Chief Rostin Bimman on November 30th suggesting Bitcoin was the sole crypto that could be viewed as a commodity. Quoting them here, according to the CFTC, as per their filing today, ETH is a commodity. This really should put any security designation to rest. Now, in its lawsuit against Bankman-Fried, FTX and sister company Alameda Research, the regulator on multiple occasions referred to Ethereum, Bitcoin, and Tether, amongst others, as commodities under United States law. Quoting them here, certain digital assets are commodities, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tether, and USDT, amongst others. However, there appears to be some disagreements with the CFTC itself regarding whether Ether should be viewed as a commodity, not, or at least as of the recent weeks. During a crypto event at Princeton University on November 30th, CFTC Chief Rostin reportedly suggested Bitcoin is the only crypto asset that should be viewed as a commodity, walking back previous comments asserting that Ether may also be a commodity. And the chairman of the SEC, Gary Gensler, had also undermined his stance on Ether in recent months. In an interview with Jim Cramer during his Mad Money show on June 27th, Gensler confirmed that Bitcoin was a commodity, adding, "That's the only one I'm going to say." So pretty clear, coming directly from Gary Gensler himself, the only one with the green light, according to Gary, is Bitcoin. Now, Gensler had previously suggested Ether was a security after its initial coin offering, but had become more decentralized and turned into a commodity. Since then, his stance appeared to have shifted again, following Ether's transition to a proof of stake, and with Gensler arguing in September that stake tokens may constitute securities under the Howey test. The designation of crypto assets in the U.S. is particularly important as the CFTC regulates commodity futures, while securities like bonds and stocks are regulated by the SEC. Now, crypto skeptic Senator Elizabeth Warren is reportedly working on a bill that would give the SEC most of the regulatory authority over the crypto industry, which we do not want, as she is totally against Bitcoin and totally against crypto. crypto. And Intercontinental Exchange Inc. CEO Jeffrey Sprecher is also confident that crypto assets will be handled like securities, suggesting a financial services conference on December 6th that this would result in greater consumer protections. And Belgium has taken a different stance, however, with its Financial Services and Markets Authority asserting November 22nd that Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other crypto assets issued solely by the computer code do not constitute securities. Facts. But let me know your thoughts in the comments right down below surrounding Ethereum being deemed a security versus a commodity. What do you think is likely this to play out? Let me know in the comments below. And of course, we also have right now the ongoing saga between the SEC and Ripple Labs, fighting for Ripple to be deemed a commodity or bridge currency or anything but a security. But it is very clear that the SEC has targeted them a couple of years back, and this is ongoing. And the result will show us how we move forward with regulations and things of that nature. But let's now dive into our final breaking story of the day, and that's a Vaneck prediction of $10,000 to $12,000 for the King crypto within the next few months, as they're predicting this for Q1 of 2023. Also like to point out that it's Vaneck. They've been trying to get a spot Bitcoin ETF approved in the United States, but guess what? Gary Gensler and the SEC has been denying them. But nonetheless, let's now break down our final story of the day. Vaneck, one of the handful of companies that continues to fight for the approval of a spot Bitcoin ETF. The U.S. investment management firm received a resounding rejection from the U.S. SEC and Exchange Commission November 2021 after a 3-year battle, and this was at the height of the crypto markets. Now, just 6 months later, June 24th of this year, Vaneck reapplied for approval of a physically backed Bitcoin ETF all over again, and the SEC's decision is currently pending. Go figure. Despite this support, the investment firm had made a bearish prediction for the King crypto in the first quarter of 2023. Matthew Siegel, head of their digital asset research at Vaneck, shared his assessment in a recent media presentation. Quoting him here, looking ahead, Bitcoin could test $10,000 to $12,000 as Bitcoin miner bankruptcies increase due to the drop in Bitcoin value and increasing electricity costs, Vaneck predicts. The investment firm believes that many miners will be forced to restructure or merge in order to find capital during difficult times. And as Siegel explained, the mining industry is in a tremendous stress situation. We have an index which tracks the publicly traded companies in this sector. The median market cap is now below $200 million, and every one of these companies is burning cash, trading well below book value. And in the recent months, the Bitcoin price has traded like a risk asset, Siegel said. What is surprising to the company, however, is its sensitivity to the higher interest rates. Vaneck sees one reason for this policy: responses to inflation in developed countries, which have capped energy prices and expanded sanctions against Russia. This has been a difficult proposition for Bitcoin mining, Siegel elaborated. Still, Vaneck is optimistic that the King crypto could rebound to $30,000 in the second half of 2023 as inflation declines. And looking further, the investment firm points to the halving in 2024, an event that traditionally drives up the Bitcoin value. Now, as News BTC reported, the second Bitcoin miner capitulation within one cycle has already started. Just 2 weeks ago, Charles Edwards of Capriole Investments reported November 28th that the hash ribbons had confirmed the start of the capitulation. And Glassnode's latest Bitcoin miner net position change data shows that the miners have sold aggressively in the last 2 weeks to the extent that historically has only been higher in early 2021. So there you have it. And historically, miner capitulation had lasted an average of only 48 days. So an end to the selling pressure could be foreseeable by mid-January 2023, right around the corner. However, this is not in line with Vaneck's Bitcoin prediction, which foresees a longer bear market. So despite the fact that miners have clearly given up their Bitcoin holdings in the last week, the interesting thing about this currently is that the Bitcoin price is showing an upward trend as we're currently back above $18,000. So there you have it. Let me know if you're currently bullish or bearish on the King crypto. And now let's dive into some live Q&A, which is one of my favorite segments of the live show. And I want to give a massive shout out to everyone here, and also Digital Dankness. I greatly appreciate your continued contributions. You've been dropping super chat donations every single day, and I greatly appreciate that. Also, massive shout out to Lawrence Abramoff. He just dropped me $10. You the man. And once again, I greatly appreciate everyone's support. And wow, Dankness sent me 2 tips today. Holy moly, I feel special. Mikey Likes It says he wants special treatment. Delusional as usual. That's right. And he was actually delusional to the fact he didn't believe he'd go to jail. The same day he got arrested, he was asked on a Twitter space, right? They said, do you believe that you're going to go to jail? He said, no, I don't believe I'm going to go to jail because I didn't purposely do anything wrong. Well, maybe you accidentally did something wrong? No, you absolutely purposely did many things wrong, and now you got to pay and suffer the consequences. It irks me in my heart, seeing anyone have to go to jail and face these consequences. But at the same time, let's not forget, he stole billions upon billions of dollars fraudulently from over 1 million investors. There's like over 1 million creditors he owes money to. He is responsible for taking Bitcoin sub $20,000 this year. It is also, people are calling him out. Back when we hit that all-time high in November of last year, people are saying if he wasn't shorting Bitcoin and dumping all of his Bitcoin onto the open market, which he was, Bitcoin could have went up to $80,000, $90,000 instead of, dropping back from hitting that high of 69,000. So absolutely, he was manipulating the market along with the powers that be, which may be the regulators. And it's also, isn't it ironic? They arrest him right before the hearing where he's going to testify. It's almost as if they wanted to protect people's names he would have loosely mentioned and maybe showed more obvious the collusion involved. Really makes you wonder. So it is wild, to say the least. Coin Father, always a pleasure, family. Good to see you. J-Dub the Laker, good to see you, fam. Yeah, man, it's wild. Nathan, good morning. Been a while since I caught the live. Well, I'm glad you caught the live, Lawrence. And again, I appreciate the support. Smash that like. Yeah, the greatest thing you can do to help support the show. Smash the like. Turn on all notifications. And yeah, comment. Comments help out tremendously with the YouTube algorithm. Yeah, man. Lawrence says, hopefully we get a nice Xmas and New Year present. Not that we will sell anyway. Yeah, I mean, here's the deal. We get to buy Bitcoin at a massive discount. We're still sub $20,000. So, hey, what greater time to take advantage of it? Because let's hypothetically say Bitcoin was at an all-time high right now. Most people would absolutely be purchasing Bitcoin for Christmas because that's just the nature of the market. When things are at an all-time high, everyone's panicking to get it. But when it's at a massive discount, cheaper than it was 5 years ago today, people are like, maybe I want to wait till it drops lower. It's just the nature of the market. It's wild. Do the opposite of retail investors and you'll probably do very well in crypto, is all I got to say. Lauren says, sitting in the car outside the gym, got to drive home and sleep. It's 12 a.m. here in Perth, Western Australia. I read an article the other day that was very alarming regarding Australia, something about their social credit system, whereas if you don't have a certain score, you're not going to be able to use the internet or transact with Bitcoin. And I'm like, and then I start thinking, well, peer-to-peer, no one can stop or prevent peer-to-peer Bitcoin transactions. However, the governments can regulate the on and off ramps, which would be the exchanges. So that is very scary. And that could be looking through a window of what's to come in the United States if we don't get our act together. You feel me? Yeah, man. Careful with Binance, fam. 99% of it will go to zero if they go down. As Bitcoin maxis, I don't think, except that my friends would lose money. Hold most of your cash in Bitcoin. Stay safe, fam. And let's actually discuss a lot of the Binance FUD going on right now. As we all know, if the second largest exchange in the world can go under, and it was regulated just like that, which was FTX, it could obviously happen to anyone. Coinbase, it could happen to Binance. I honestly agree that no exchange is safe, and I love the fact that most people are taking their Bitcoin off the exchanges and putting it in self-custody. There has been a mass exodus of crypto leaving the exchanges, and I love to see this. I mean, maybe if there wasn't so much crypto on FTX, so many people wouldn't have lost so much money. It's a shame, but it is what it is. So take your crypto off the exchanges or forever hold your peace. As I like to say, not your keys, not your cheese, dog. Lawrence says, hopefully they don't go down, though. It would not be cool. Something that alarmed me and kind of scared me. We all know Jim Cramer from Mad Money. Anything he is bullish on, the opposite happens. And anything he is bearish on, the opposite happens. And he's been coming out recently saying, oh, I think the Binance CEO is a great guy. Binance is looking strong. And then even CZ himself says, hey, Jim, please stop that. Because we all know he is Cramer is a FUD puppet for the mainstream media. And anything he is pumping, typically the opposite is going to happen. Because I think their objective, in my humble opinion, is for investors to lose money. They pretend they are, especially regulators, they pretend they're protecting investors. But really, they don't want investors to succeed. They try to make it as difficult as possible. And Jim Cramer, unfortunately, is one of those FUD puppets working very closely with the government to mislead you so that you're broke and poor. So when Jim Cramer is bullish on Binance, it makes you really wonder, like, oh my God, I wouldn't be keeping any crypto on Binance. You know what I mean? But hey, that's just me. Good to see you, Roman Coakley. I appreciate you tuning in live, brother. Says, love the show. To the moon. Absolutely. Send it. Honey Badger, don't care. That's right. Shout out to all my honey badgers. Lawrence, that's what I hear from my clients, he says. Digital Dankness says, I lost money with BlockFi, but that was a tiny sliver of my portfolio. Yeah, man, it is very sad and unfortunate. And so I hate to hear or read any investors, losing money. It's very, very unfortunate. But at the same time, it teaches us very valuable lessons, which I think we will all learn from. So going into the next bull market, we don't make the same mistake. At the end of the day, self-custody is really the only solution in my mind. Only invest on an exchange or a platform what you're willing to lose, noting there is real tangible risks involved with crypto, and a lot of companies don't tell the truth. They're fudging the books. Regulators are lying, and the collusion never ends. Coinfather says, Lawrence, you are right. Many of my Bitcoiners that have been in for many years feel it's only 5%. Self-custody. I think you'd be crazy to only 5% of your crypto self-custody. I could never imagine people like Kevin O'Leary, what he was thinking, keeping $10 million on an exchange. Like, seriously? He deserved to lose it. But then again, that was the house money because he announced that Bankman-Fried or FTX actually paid him $15 million to be a brand ambassador. So big deal. You lost 10 of your $15 million, Mr. O'Leary. Cry me a river. You know what I mean? You were playing with the house money, whereas real investors lost real money that they weren't awarded by Bankman-Fried because they weren't brand ambassadors. And peep this. Do you know Taylor Swift? It was her 33rd birthday yesterday because I wished her a happy birthday. She did more due diligence than Kevin O'Leary, Stephen Curry, Tom Brady, the SEC, Gary Gensler, Wall Street, the mainstream media, because she denied the ambassador deal. They were trying to throw millions of dollars at her, and she said, no, I don't feel comfortable with this, and she denied it. Everyone else took the money, right? The regulators took the money. The politicians took the money. The Dems took the money. Ukraine took the money. Everyone was taking the money and turning a blind eye. This is collusion, fam. It is wild, to say the least. Yeah, man. Crazy. Mikey likes us, says Crypto News Alerts is the best crypto news updates on YouTube. Greatly appreciate that, family. Y'all are awesome. Smash that like button. Much love. Telengard says, I like USDT more than USDC. Me too, over the years, I never had any problems with USDT, but I keep hearing more and more FUD, so it makes you wonder and at least stress that caution, but I feel the same way. Nathan, appreciate you, buddy. MB says, how many exchanges do you think trade paper Bitcoin? Once more and more plebs self-custody, exchanges will be squeezed into purchasing actual BTC. I think many exchanges are selling fake paper Bitcoin. I think if one of the largest exchanges in the world were doing it, there's more than likely many, many other top exchanges and not so top exchanges doing the same thing. They are all corrupt as hell. And if you think about it, I mean, with lack of regulation or corrupt regulation, anything is possible. Looks like Bitcoin is doing its throw over and will soon dip, says Dankness, due to overbought territory on the RSI, which is the Relative Strength Index. So soon we may be going lower. Yeah, I think we're likely to go lower as well, fam. I wouldn't be shocked to hit 10, 12,000 as I shared in the prediction today from Vaneck. I don't know about a $6,000 Bitcoin price as Chartered Standard shared and I covered in a previous episode, but I can potentially see 10 to 12,000 as being realistic. Chuck Strickland says, yeah, man. I lost that comment because new comments came in. Telengard says, I am serious with that. A Big Mac stable could be backed by derivatives and have an infinite supply without deflationary effects. Coinfather says, I'm welcoming 2023 with open arms so I can stack sats on the big drop in Q1 or early Q2 of 2023. Abramov says, Bankman-Fried in jail is probably for show. They will take his death as suicide. That would be wild because so many people are involved in this. I mean, it happened to Jeffrey Epstein. Anything is possible in jail. They say there are cameras, but we all know how that works. You know what I mean? We've seen stranger things. What if he was really innocent and his girl and the dino money played him? Conspiracy speculation. Bankman, there's no possible way Bankman can be innocent in all of this. He is corrupt. His parents are corrupt. Caroline Ellison is corrupt. Her parents are corrupt. The SEC is corrupt. Gary Gensler is corrupt. Everyone involved in this is very apparently corrupt, in my humble opinion. So, but yeah, I mean, anything is possible, but that's just my thoughts. CoinFather says, not even 5% of people are in crypto. That's right. We're early as all hell. Dan Drummond, good morning, fam. He says, show of hands. How many of you no coiners out there are still on the sidelines? Custom squiggly lines said, wait for a 4-figure Bitcoin. Yeah, I can feel you on that, Dan. 420, blaze it. That's right. Happy 420 to the crypto fam. Matthew says, we only have 24 likes, but 80 in here. Go SBF, that like. That's right. Smash that like button as if it's Sam Bankman-Fried's face himself. If you're watching the live show, please make sure you're logged in, because if you're not logged in, you can't smash that like button and subscribe to the channel and turn on all notifications. So you know what to do, fam. Yeah, I appreciate that. CoinFather says, have a wonderful day all. Stack Sats, DCA, which is dollar cost average. Peace. My low is 9,100. Well, great prediction. I appreciate you sharing that. Now let's wrap up with the big finish. Here's a recap of what I covered with you here in today's live show. We did naturally discuss a lot, including Bitcoin bear market, 70% dip kills Bitcoin Taurus as metric, screams buy as Philip Swift shares. Also in today's show, we discuss SBF denied bail by the Bahamas Magistrate Court judge and denied bail on $250,000 bail. Also in today's show, we discussed Tether USDT to reduce secured loans to zero in 2023 amid the ongoing battle against FUD from the mainstream and many on crypto Twitter, to be honest. Also in today's show, we discuss imminent macro events could rock the Bitcoin price action in crypto markets, according to analytics firm Sentiment. And we also discuss breaking news that the CFTC officially declares Ethereum as a commodity again in a court filing, along with Bitcoin and USDT. Also in today's show, I shared with you Vaneck's Bitcoin crash prediction, a Bitcoin hitting roughly $10,000 to $12,000 by Q1 of 2023, which is right around the corner. But where do you feel the Bitcoin price is likely to go next? Let me know in the comments right down below, and I look forward to seeing you on tomorrow's show.